Okay, I think can you hear me now? Check, check. Okay, welcome everybody. This is the Total Space Network, and we are also live on the Angry Astronauts channel. He should be joining us shortly here, but until then, we're going to try to do our best to keep you entertained and informed as to what's going on with this launch. If you would like to have your chats come up on the stream, you will need to do that on our stream over at YouTube/Total Space. If you would like to do stickers and things, you can do those still on Angry's chat. So wherever you are more comfortable with doing that, go right ahead. If you have any questions, you'll have to direct that over at Total Space. So today we have myself. I'm Astro Roadie, one of your stream hosts here at Total Space Net. We also have Ryan from the Space Update.
Hi guys, Ryan here from the Space Update. Really looking for this launch of Atlas V and the Lucy mission to the Trojan asteroids.
And we also joining us today is Rich LB.
Hello everybody, Rich LB here from Becoming Multiplanetary. Also looking forward to today's launch, looking forward to getting yeeted at some meteorites. Seeing as we actually did the video for it recently, you should know this, Richard.
Thanks, Rich. Also today we have Mikko from Deep Dive.
Hello. Mikko here. And yeah, interested for the Lucy launch, been waiting for it quite a few months already.
Yeah. So we got quite a lot going on. We've spent the last 2 or 3 days rebuilding all this as a surprise. We didn't know we were going to do this collaboration until just recently. So we're still ironing out a few details. Apologize if there's any audio issues. Let us know if there's anything we need to correct for you all. We are happy to do so. If you have questions you need answers, we are here to answer those questions. We are all so excited about this launch. We've done 2 videos relative to this launch already on our channel. One is just about asteroid types to kind of explain what Lucy's going to be looking at. That's available on our channel. We also just, what was it, yesterday or the day before, we released a video that's all about Lucy. That's Mikko and I going over all that information. I believe Angry also posted a video yesterday about the Lucy mission. That's available on his channel, so be sure to check that out. Oh, look, we have fireworks. Look at that. Hey. Rebecca Dixon for £5. Guess what, Rebecca? You are our first super chat on Total Space. So you will be receiving a special gift in the mail at some point as a reward for being our first super chat at Total Space. So congratulations and thank you so much for the super chat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ryan, do you want to tell us a little bit about the Atlas V? You had a little document that you shared with me the other day. Do you want to chat about that for a minute?
Yeah, it's one of my favourite rockets, the Atlas V. Absolutely incredible rocket. I mean, since 2002, it's launched some of the most amazing missions. Both the Mars rovers, Curiosity, Perseverance, and numerous others. I mean, its track record is virtually unbeaten when you compare it to a lot of other rockets. Absolutely incredible, and quite interestingly, a lot of that technology, albeit from 2002, is going to go on to ULA's Vulcan Centaur rocket. So the boosters that are on this one, albeit there's none on this one, it's just a booster only with no solid rocket boosters. The boosters on that are going to be used on Vulcan, and the engines, similar configuration. It'll have the 2 engines, albeit not Russian engines. It's going to be the hopefully the Blue Origin engines. Maybe they'll get them at some point, who knows. But questioning Tori on Twitter to see any updates on those B4 engines from Jeff Bezos, but seems to be delay after delay. So I think everyone on the Angry Astronaut is fully aware of that one. and everyone else. But hopefully they'll sort out that engine problem, because it looks like almost everything's pretty much ready to go. But absolutely incredible rocket, and one of my favourites, alongside the Falcon 9. Albeit Atlas feed, it doesn't necessarily get recovered or anything like that, but I still absolutely love that rocket. What about yourself, Rich Miko?
Yeah, Atlas 5 is a great rocket, and for this Lucy mission, there's really no rocket that could have launched it directly to the asteroids. So for that reason, there will be 2 Earth gravity slingshots before we can actually go to the asteroids. So that's the only way we can get enough speed, and that's why we don't actually need the boosters on the Atlas 5 rocket. And yeah, since it has a spotless record, it's a great rocket to use for this one. So at the time of the mission was released, I think Falcon 9 hadn't flown that much.
Yeah, on the Atlas V, you've got that mighty RL-10 engine, which is the Goldilocks engine for deep space missions, because it's just sheer power compared to some other engines out there. It's just absolutely incredible. And ULA are just making that better and better. Have we seen on recent missions to do an extension of the actual nozzle on the engine? We saw a little bell ringing in a few previous ones, but it seems like they've hopefully ironed that out. And maybe we might see this on this mission for the RL-10 vacuum engine.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So glad everybody's here. I hope everybody's able to have some fun and chat with us and interact with us. Again, Angry should be joining us at some point here. Let's go ahead, Mr. Producer, and let's go ahead and bring the Angry branding on, just so that the viewers on Angry's stream can see that this is a collaborative effort, and get a little bit more comfortable with what's going on here.
We've got one or two people asking when's the launch going live. We've got a live feed coming soon from ULA and NASA. So at the moment, just playing some little B-rolls to keep you guys entertained and have a little sneak peek of what's going on in the background at the moment.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we like to keep a little bit of something on screen for everybody to see while we're waiting for those feeds to go live for us and everything. So yeah, we've got yes, definitely the hype is starting here. Eridimos. So yes, thank you. Yeah, as soon as the NASA and the ULA feed go live, we will be switching that out for what you're seeing already, and you'll be able to enjoy that live footage. For the most part, we're going to keep that audio pretty quiet and just listen to it ourselves a little bit and try to bring the commentary to you. Again, if you would like to chat with us and interact or ask us a question, you can do that on our stream. Or you should be able to do stickers and such on Angry's stream. It looks like those may not be working at the moment. I'm not sure if that's something that we can fix right now, so we apologize for that. We'll try and do something about that if that's possible. But in the meantime, if you want to chat and things, you can do that on our channel. So yes, thank you everybody for joining. Let us know, what is your favorite part of a launch, and what are you most looking forward to Lucy teaching us about the primordial solar system? Rich, what are you most excited about learning on this mission?
So, not so much excited, but just really impressed by... I know the story of Lucy starts today with the launch, right? But we're going to be here for, getting years of science out of this mission between the different flybys, So This is like a gift that keeps on giving to the scientific community. So yeah, really looking forward to the kind of answers we're gonna see from this mission.
Yes, absolutely. This mission is planned to go for 12 years, and like the Lucy satellite will be able to keep going after that. NASA's got a pretty good track record of being able to extend missions and get more data after the fact. The orbit that it's going into will continue to cycle back between L4 and L5 of the Jovian system.
One second, he's got an audio loop.
Okay. Looks like we are just about ready to have Angry come on stream with us. So we're just fixing that up right now. But yeah, as I was saying, like this mission, we could be getting information for a very long time. And this story started not too long ago with the discovery of the Lucy skeleton. And it taught us a lot about the origin of humanity.
He's pushing double audio through, so it's killing the audio for viewers.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is that just one of the streams, or is that both streams?
Great, you need to kill the...
Stun. No, I'm coming back. Just one moment.
Okay, all right. We are going to say goodbye to Rich, everybody. He's going to still be available in voice, but we are going to swap his camera out for our special guest here at Total Space, and everybody over on the Angry stream will be able to see someone they're a little bit more familiar with.
Those things that old people do.
Keep going.
Yeah, so good morning, a little later morning for viewers in Europe and elsewhere, and then whatever time it is in Australia and Asia. Really pleased to have everybody online. Anybody who's joined up with Total Space on their server, I encourage folks to go over there and subscribe. Absolutely. My viewers were informed to sign on in about 10 minutes. I sent that out on tweet yesterday. However, I could have lots of viewers on for all I know right now. So bear with me. Oh, hello, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, yes, again, thank you, everybody, and thanks for joining us today and working with us today, Angry. This has been something that has been kind of on the back burner, working to do something like this at some point, and we just decided, 2 days ago that this is when we were going to do it. So we've rearranged the universe and made things happen as best we could on the short notice of the plan, but it's very, very, very exciting. One of the viewers chimes in, really love the scope of this mission. It's a 12-year primary mission, but this could continue for decades. We're even seeing satellites being upgraded in flight, and it cuts off there. I can't read the rest of that, Mr. Producer. Andrew Hickman, thank you. I'll have to scroll over here.
But basically, the Lucy spacecraft will work or it can do science as long as it works, because the orbit it's on, it will be stable for about 100,000 years or even millions of years. So I think the tech will fail before that.
And it's
one thing that can be pointed out also is the fact that Voyager 2 is, of course, the solar batteries are going to give out, but also the transmissions that we can receive at that colossal distance is a very difficult thing, whereas Lucy is going to be hanging around the solar system a bit longer than the Voyager probes did. So, and of course, it's a higher technology probe on top of that. So, yeah, we stand to gain a lot of information for some time from this probe. It's wonderful.
And it'd be incredible to see what they find from sending these satellites out. Obviously, they're going to study them because these asteroids were formed around the time of the universe, the time Jupiter was being put together. So maybe they hold the keys for how the universe was created, or how our planets were created, and maybe so much more. What's in them? Is there water in them? Is there precious metals in them? We don't really know. We've studied them to a certain extent, but we haven't actually had a dedicated mission necessarily to literally go there and see what they're actually made of.
Yeah. For those of you interested in I'm sorry, go ahead. Whoever I interrupted there.
No, quite all right. With this many people, we're going to interrupt each other a little bit. It should be expected. The Lucy mission's going out there. It's going to teach us so much about our primordial solar system. These asteroids have been there a very long time. There's a lot of information out there, and we've tried to consolidate it in the videos we've put out here on Total Space and make a little bit of sense out of it. But there's just really so much information that we already have, and that amount of information is just going to explode, and we're going to learn so much from this mission. I think of all the missions this year that we're launching, this is the one I've been the most excited about for a couple of years now. And so it's just fascinating, and I love the orbit that we're going into. Where, I mean, if you look at it in our B-roll shows it at some point. If you look at it in Jupiter centered, it makes this like figure 8 loop that goes back and forth between Jovian L4 and L5, and it's just a beautiful thing that we have figured out how to do that as a human species. Like, yeah. It's just inspiring to my imagination. I hope it's inspiring to all of you out there as well. It's just so fascinating. What do you think about all this, Miko?
Yeah, it will be interesting to see the untouched asteroids and how it will affect our knowing of the solar system, how it all came to be. I would expect we will write some science books after this mission.
What I pointed out in a video I just released yesterday about the topic, it was a re-release from several months ago. It was a practical aspect that's very seldom talked about. At Harvard University, a team of researchers came up with an idea of putting a base in the Trojan asteroids for the purpose not only of mining and that sort of thing, but also in terms of keeping an eye on the solar system for the defense of Earth. It would be far easier to launch kinetic penetrators, interceptors, that sort of thing for incoming asteroids, comets, that sort of thing, and also to observe things in the outer solar system that could threaten the inner solar system, give us not an advance notice. And then on top of that, any LEO, or rather a near-Earth object, NEO, that the orbit of those objects oftentimes takes them out too close to the orbit of Jupiter, and they slow down tremendously once they reach that point, and it's much easier to intercept them out there. So I like to always think way outside the box with strange ideas and to look these things up. But I have that article linked, by the way. So it was a fascinating project.
Maybe Starship trundling out there, landing on one of them, maybe.
Absolutely. So we have another chat comment coming in. Jared Lemon asks, what are we paying for this Atlas launch compared to what it would have cost on a Falcon 9? So every company has different things that they're really, really good at. SpaceX and the Falcon 9, the thing they're really, really good at is of course, the reuse of the booster coming back down and landing on drone ships out in the middle of the ocean, which is fantastic. But SpaceX's thing is they save the taxpayers a lot of money. with ULA, their thing is orbital accuracy and placement of the payloads. They have worked really hard to be able to put things in very, very specific orbital paths, and that's the thing that they have focused on. And every other company out there has focused on different things. So sometimes one rocket is better than another one for a specific use. The Ariane 5 is very good at heavy payloads to distant locations. That's just what the Ariane 5 has been built to do. So I don't know the exact costs. Maybe Mr. Producer or somebody could link that information up for me, and we can read that off in a moment.
I think it's worth noting if a Falcon 9 did do this mission, it would be expendable. Because any deep space missions, that SpaceX have to use the Falcon Heavy, but that's not quite here yet.
That's true. That's true.
So cost for okay. So it's about 150 million for a ULA Atlas 5 launch. Hopefully that answers your question. I'm sorry, I may have confused a name. Woody Muller, I think, had that comment. So thank you so much for chiming in. Jared Lemon asks, does anybody know if the composition of these Trojan asteroids will differ significantly from main belt asteroids? From what I know and understand, the main belt asteroids are formed a lot more recently. The Trojan asteroids have been trapped there since the beginnings of the solar system, so they're going to be quite a bit older. They're going to be very similar to what's out in the Kuiper Belt, out past Neptune and Uranus. Pluto is out in there in the Kuiper Belt area, so that those are going to be quite a bit older. So the composition will be different ratios of probably very, very similar compositions of materials, but they will have been there longer, and it will teach us different things. We also have a number of upcoming missions that will be going out there to explore some things. We have DART mission coming up, and we also have Psyche coming up soon, and both of those are heading out to explore some very wonderful things. DART's going to actually try and redirect and the orbital path of an asteroid by smashing into it. I mean, how cool is that?
Absolutely incredible.
Also, to follow up with what you said about the Kuiper project, Astro Roadie, we've spotted cometary tails in the Trojan asteroid. So, yeah, these bodies definitely have cometary companions of some kind. We don't know how many. We don't know how large they are. Lots of question marks on this mission that would be great to answer. So, yeah, that is a big difference there with the asteroid belts, is the fact that we have, we at least strongly suspect cometary bodies in the Trojan asteroids.
Yeah, and there is also some asteroid types, what we did a video about, that haven't been, well, pictured close. For example, D-type and P-type asteroids. Those haven't been investigated properly. I think the NASA mission went to an C-class asteroid, and the first Hayabusa went to an S-class asteroid. So yeah, there's quite a lot to learn there.
Absolutely. Another one from Woody Muller. Are some of the objects of trapped in the Lagrange points comets rather than asteroids? I think Nico just kind of covered that. Yes. There are some cometary tails and things that have been spotted out there. There are some icier, which comets are going to have more icy type elements, and asteroids are going to have a little bit more like rocky and dusty kind of elements. And their orbital paths will be slightly different. That's the 2-cent answer to that. So maybe
also,
some more commentary. Oh, Rich.
Mr. Narrator here now. Just to be a bit more specific on that answer, on February 25th, 2021, JPL had spotted a comet nearing the Jovian asteroid system. So, just a little bit more of an expansion on that answer for you guys. And yeah, I'm still here, don't worry.
Thanks, Rich. Startled me a little bit there. So I hope that answered your question, Woody. Andrew Hickman, would Falcon Heavy be too powerful to launch Lucy? Thinking about vibration and etc. during takeoff. Lucy went through a great deal of vibrational testing. Every mission, every satellite that we launch goes through vibrational testing, but that testing is going to be based on the rocket that it's going on. So if they were looking at putting it up on a Falcon Heavy, they would have had to do vibrational testing to make sure that it would survive those vibrations. If that answers your question, well, happy to clarify that a little bit more if you need, Andrew. Thanks for chiming in.
It probably could have went on Falcon Heavy, but obviously ULA have got that contract, so hence why it's on that rocket. And these contracts are always decided years in advance. So if obviously, I don't know when this contract was actually won. So one of the guys in the background probably dig that up when the contract was actually won for the Lucy mission. But I imagine it's a good few years ago, because all the Atlas V launches are now sold out until 2022, 2023. So no more Atlas V launches beyond that. Fingers crossed for the Vulcan coming online. But yeah, that pretty much answers your question, Andrew. So if you have any more, feel free to fire them through.
If I could add, again, sorry guys, if I could add one more thing to that, Falcon Heavy would have been a pretty crazy decision in 2019, which is when the final decision, when SpaceX challenged this issue in the government accounting office. Falcon Heavy was a very new product at that time and would have been a very risky thing to send this probe out on if you had Atlas V as an alternative.
Definitely.
So really, Falcon Heavy's getting its chance very soon, but in 2019, I would not have supported that kind of decision, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a very good point. But we do have 3 or potentially 4 Falcon Heavy launches coming next year. We were supposed to get one this year, but the payload was not going to be ready on time for that launch, so it's been pushed to next year. But 3 or 4 Falcon Heavy launches next year. How fantastic is that going to be? So exciting. One really fun piece of information about Lucy is they started manufacturing about 18 months ago. So they won the mission contract a few years ago, but they didn't start building until 18 months ago. And they've put this whole thing together while the whole world is going through this global pandemic issue. And it's just fantastic. They've been able to get the whole thing built, tested, and shipped to Florida. It was built in Colorado, shipped to Florida. They've got it integrated onto the rocket and on the launch pad in time for the first launch window. So that's great.
Yeah, we've got the NASA stream live now, but yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The chat goes by there. If you want to make any sort of super chat donations, it's only done via sticker. Is that correct? Is that the correct thing or not? Okay, so you guys know my PayPal. If you want to make a donation that way, it's there. But I would strongly urge you to make your super chat donations over here at Total Space. These guys are doing some amazing work, and they put a tremendous amount of effort in making this happen today. So I'd strongly support you guys making your donations over here.
And if anyone's got any questions, pop over and we'll try to answer all the general questions in our chat on Total Space as well. So feel free to ask away. And we've got a stream just literally popping up now for you from NASA. There we go.
Yeah, fantastic. Yes, thank you. Again, we won't have, it looks like we don't have any chat of any sort over on Angry's stream, but if you want to interact with all of us, you can do that over on the Total Space stream. Angry will have his PayPal link available to you guys if you are more comfortable working with that, or if you would like to super chat, you are welcome to do so over on our channel. We also are available, both of us have Patreon available, so you can use that if that's the way you would like to show your support, or if you just would like to watch the stream and maybe click a like button or something like that, you are more than welcome to do that. So let's see, what else have we got going on? Oh, we've got a hiccup here.
We should have the
Refresh.
official footage through in a few minutes or so.
It's already on screen now.
Oh, so it is.
Come on, Mr. Narrator.
Mr. Narrator is going to go and hide in a corner.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Another one from Jared Lemon. I have a feeling NASA would have found a way to put a diamond on this spacecraft, even if they didn't end up needing one on an instrument. They actually do have diamonds on the Lucy spacecraft. There's an optical instrument that needs to split the signal, and they are using a diamond to split that signal. There's I believe Scott Manley did a video specifically about the diamond, or a little tidbit in one of his videos about the diamond. But they don't talk about that a lot. But yeah, there is actually diamonds going on Lucy in the sky. Nice little Beatles reference, kind of just slid right in there for you.
I mean, I know, just to go off topic a little bit, but we've seen the likes of the NASA Webb Space Telescope that's got quite a lot of gold up on the mirrors. So again, another something you take for granted in jewellery and everything else, but it all gets used on satellites, even though you don't really think of diamonds anyway. You wouldn't even think of using them on satellites, but they have their additional benefits for other uses, really.
Yeah, Jared, I'm getting a note here. It's the Far Infrared Spectrometer instrument that is acting as a beam splitter that has that particular diamond that we were chatting about just a minute ago. Yeah, so we are ready for some more comments. Throw your questions on up in the chat on the Total Space stream. And if you just want to watch, Angry Stream is a great place to do that. So, Miko, what's going through your head right now? What's exciting for you about what's going on?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, it will be interesting to see how our understanding of the solar system will change. I mean, there will be so much more to learn, and I think books will be written again.
Yes. What about you, Angry? What are you excited about here?
I'm amazed by the engineering accomplishments. When I put out my first video on this topic 4 months ago, I named October 16th as the launch date, and that is indeed what is happening. I mean, how often do we see that from any launch provider? How often do we see that from any space agency? We're going up on the day that was anticipated, or at least that is the intent today. That is amazing, and the fact that we're hitting multiple targets, only a few hours each. During these flybys. I mean, there is so much engineering, so much sophisticated mathematics involved with this that really pushes back what NASA has been able to do in the past. I mean, that's simply astonishing. And if they pull all of this off, it's really going to be their finest hour.
Absolutely. Just to expand on that, we have a 23-day launch window. And every day at about this time, throughout this 23 days, we can launch. So if for any reason we don't lift off today, we have a little bit of time to work with. And if for any reason we are not able to lift off this year, we have another launch window in a year. We'll have to change what science and what orbital path we do a little bit, but we can still launch next year and still get a lot of great science out of this mission. So as long as we get off the ground and into orbit, we will be learning a lot of things with this mission. So it's fantastic. Go ahead, Ryan.
I've got a question from Phil Rogan on Lucy. Do you think Lucy might find interstellar objects hanging around at the destination where it's going to be looking at the Trojan asteroids? Or interstellar objects? Anything else?
I like that question. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Angry.
If I could take a stab at it, interstellar objects by their very nature are going to come in at a massive velocity, and even Jupiter's gravity might be hard-pressed to corral them. We saw that with Oumuamua. We also had, I forget the name of the cometary body that showed up afterwards that was interstellar, but anything that comes into our system from outside is going to be traveling incredibly fast. It's one of the things that make them stand out like a sore thumb. So unless there happens to be a corresponding velocity between our solar system and the speed that this object happens to be orbiting the galactic center, which could happen, that could happen, then yeah, it could end up there. But those are rare. Those are hard to find.
Yeah, absolutely. So we probably will see things float through the Trojan swarms, but they're not very likely to get stuck there, and the Lucy spacecraft would actually have to be there when it comes flying through. Most of what we know about the Trojan swarms is most of those asteroids have been there for a very long time, and not too much has been, as far as we know, trapped there since the primordial solar system. But Lucy's going to tell us a little bit about how long some of those things have been there, hopefully. So I hope that answers your question.
Got a launch.
Rich, do you want to do your own question there?
I guess. What is the average airspeed velocity of a migratory Atlas V?
We're waiting. No, I just love the reference. That's all. You think I know that off the top of my head?
Oh yeah, I'm so glad someone in chat actually got the reference straight away. Jared, my man, you're talking my language.
I gotta admit, I'm completely clueless on that one. I have no idea what you're referring to. So,
it's a Monty Python reference.
Is it African or European?
Exactly. It's a Monty Python reference. So the original line goes, "What's the average airspeed velocity?"
Pull him to the
floor. Messiah.
What is your favorite color?
We're just about 18 minutes away from launch. We've got a potential hold just before we go, but not too long to wait now, guys. We should launch very soon.
My heart's pounding. It really is. This is beyond exciting stuff. This is not your average launch. This is so difficult to accomplish what they're trying to pull off. And if they do it on the first launch window today, it will be a remarkable accomplishment in engineering, mathematics. I mean, wow. I just can't wait. I'm so excited.
And a post that Tori put out on Twitter, I think just earlier this morning or last night, he said the launch window to meet the target is so small, but because of the incredible maneuverability of the Atlas V, it can make that launch window up to, I think, 74 minutes, I think he stated, rather than a couple of seconds. So
yeah, 74 or 75, yeah.
So if it slightly misses it, it has the capability to swerve back into the right path that it needs to be, thanks to the the amazing power of that RL engine, I think, just absolutely incredible.
I think it was because of they have a real-time trajectory calculator on board the rocket.
Yeah.
So they can basically do it real-time. Compared to Falcon 9, there's no such thing. It would be a 1 second launch for SpaceX.
Yeah. I'm going to butcher that name. I'm just going to call you Scott. How long will Lucy testing calibration period be after the launch before the team can start doing science? So after 2 slingshots past the Earth, which will take a couple of years to accomplish, it's going to go out past one of the asteroid belt asteroids that they have named Donald Johanson, who is one of the archaeologists that discovered the Lucy skeleton. And that as they fly past that asteroid, they're going to calibrate the cameras and the various sensors and things, and like they're going to just do it on the fly. And then in 2027, when they actually get out to L4 and hit the first asteroid there, they should have everything up and running by that time. So it's not like there's a waiting period for the instruments so much as a waiting period to get there. I hope that answers your question. Go ahead, Mr. Narrator.
Just to expand on that a little bit, the 2 gravity assists, one will happen next year, and the other will happen 2 years after that. And then once we've got those 2 gravity assists, in 2025, it will encounter its first flyby with 52246 Donald Johanson. And at that point, that is when it will be calibrating its instruments on Donald Johanson. And then from there, it'll be another 2 years before it arrives at the L4 Trojan Cloud. So, to answer your question in short, 4 years to get there, and then that's when they calibrate, and another 2 years before they actually start doing the science on the first cloud.
I'll talk about the long-term mode of thinking of these people. These are the kinds of people who could eat one salted peanut. It's amazing to me that you launch today and you have to wait 3 years just for the second flyby of our own planet. I mean, that's some serious patience and some serious attention to your job without much reward. It's probably worth noting that a number of people on this project may not be alive to see the results of their work. I mean, we're talking more than a decade before it's over. So yeah, I mean, this is some serious dedication from some very talented people. I mean, NASA still blows my mind. They really do. Regardless of how much criticism they may take, they still blow my mind.
Absolutely. Hal Levinson is the principal investigator on this mission, and he will be having his 75th birthday within a couple of days of the final planned encounter out at L5 with Patroclus and Minocius. So yeah, he's hoping that he makes it that long. I believe is what he was saying. So yeah, quite exciting. Another comment here from Jabalsh. It's so amazing what the science is capable of nowadays. Absolutely, so exciting. Another one from Jared Lemon. We got some chatters here. That's wonderful. My wife is audibly snoring, so she's really into this stuff. Yes. I'm not going to tell you to interfere with your wife sleeping, but I would laugh if you did. We got another one here from Phil Rogan. Does anybody think Lucy was thrown together too quickly? Design quality, trajectory calculations, or is it just me? So most of the instruments on Lucy have flown before. They've been used on other missions, such as oh shoot, my brain just went blank. But a lot of those instruments have been used before. They've been slightly modified for this mission. It is a little bit thrown together. But I'm pretty confident that they will pull it off. There's there's always a chance for errors and things, but that was how the team at SWRI was able to, Southwest Research Institute was able to win this bid for this mission, is by using stuff that had all been proven on other missions. The high gain antenna was used somewhere else. L. Ralph, L. Lori, and L. Tess are all instruments that have been used on other spacecraft. T2 cam has been used elsewhere as well. So there's a lot that it's basically they used Lego pieces from other missions and put this thing together, and they just had to make it all talk to each other, and they had a working spacecraft. That's how they were able to get the bid on this. So I hope that answers your question and maybe puts you a little bit at ease. But yeah, it is a little bit thrown together. But they did go through those calculations a number of times just to make sure they had good sized launch windows. They looked at, hey, what happens if we launch next year? What happens if we launch in 3 years? What happens if we're able to get off the ground a year ago? And really it just changes what they will encounter when they're at L4 or L5 that really changes. So really, really fantastic stuff. It looks like we are at about T-minus 10 to lift off. So
just to expand on that, by the way, 2 of the instruments were based on designs that were already present on New Horizons, and 1 was based on OSIRIS-REx.
Still, and I guess adding again, this is still a remarkable accomplishment. As we have seen with SLS, you can take existing technology, you can take engines that have been used before, you can take components that we understand and technology that is well established, and still take forever to get something done. So the fact that these people have been able to pull this off in the amount of time that they've been able to pull it off is truly outstanding. It's just outstanding.
I guess it's different when you have a deadline when you can't launch. You have to do it.
Yes, absolutely. I hope I'm not butchering this name. Joni K says, right, there's so much new tech in Lucy, just the way it is being used. Yeah, absolutely. It's being used slightly different, but a lot of it's been proven technology. It's all space hardened and ready to rock and roll. So thank you for chiming in. Another one from Andrew Hickman. Reusing instruments was a great idea. It increases reliability, reduces cost, and improves their capability. Absolutely. Maybe Ryan, do you want to take the next one there?
Well, it's got Jared Lennon saying that I like the artwork they sometimes put on the fairings, but really creative with some of the mission patches they do and everything. And they always have dedicate the missions to past employees and stuff like that, which is always quite interesting, really. But some great artwork. They seem to be going with a bit of a more retro kind of thing by the looks of it from the presentation desk on screen there. It's not quite up there at the moment, but and then the mission patch itself, so quite interesting that. And the retro looks just,
right back, guys.
Retro looks just a tribute to the Beatles, apparently, from Mr. Producer.
Yeah, definitely have the Sgt. Pepper color theme going on there. Yeah.
But absolutely incredible mission. We're just over 7 minutes away from potential launch. There might be a little holes at a few points potentially if they find any issues. But at the very start, it looks like they're planning to launch at the very start of that window. So hopefully get a launch reasonably soon, and we could just see that raw into the early morning sky over at I believe Cape Canaveral. That one.
Yeah. How is the audio for everyone? Are we sounding a little bit full? We have Kage chiming in on our Discord saying that we sound a little bit full. So would the audience agree with that? Do we need to make some adjustments for you guys before we lift off here? Let us know. We're happy to try and make a few minor adjustments to that. We want to try to bring you the best quality stream that we possibly can, and unfortunately, we ran out of time to run all the testing that we wanted to do with this, so we were not able to do that, and we are happy to make adjustments on the fly if it is necessary.
That should
Okay.
be the general connection and everything. But any issues, just let us know. We'll try and catch it as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for chiming in on that. Miko, do you want to take the next comment there?
Giant Dad is saying you guys are great at interacting with chat. Well, we don't have too many subscribers yet, so we can interact with you guys. So throw your questions in the Total Space channel chat. We won't be taking the questions from Angry Astronaut stream.
Yeah. That just like Miko was saying, a reminder to everybody. We don't have chat active on the Angry stream, but if you want to chat and interact with us, you're free to do that on the Total Space stream. There should be a link in the description. Can we verify that, somebody in the back scene?
Please do. And once again, guys, I urge you to follow along here at Total Space. These guys, as I said before, put a colossal amount of effort into putting all of this together, and I did precisely nothing except show up. So, guys, come on over to Total Space. Put in your chats here. For my Discord supporters, I just brought up live stream Q&A. If you really want to put in some questions there, I could do that, but I suspect that only a small percentage of people watching are on the Discord server. But if you want to go that way, I'm fine with it.
Yes, come on over. We have cookies.
Yeah. Super chats are available on our channel. If that's the kind of thing you're into, they are more than welcome. We do have some on-screen graphics we can throw at you for that if you want to see those. They have to be triggered. So, yeah.
We actually had one trigger earlier on.
Please throw in a chat.
Yes.
Please throw in a super chat for him. Definitely. They for all this work. I mean, come on. Yeah. Please support them if you can.
Yeah. And I don't want to minimize what Angry has done here, because it takes a lot of effort just to show up sometimes. So, I want to extend a huge thank you to Angry for doing this stream with us and giving us this opportunity to work with you and your audience and try to interact. Streaming to 2 platforms on short notice, putting all the B-roll together and everything for this launch, making sure we had information and logistics all figured out. It's so exciting.
Astro
you know what,
Roadie.
Mr. Producer, if you will look in voice chat comments, we have a special guest that would like to chime in for a minute, it sounds like. You want to check on that and let me know when that's ready. Sorry, Mr. Narrator was saying something. What was that?
I was saying, why not hit that applause button for Angry and his followers here?
There's the one.
There we go.
Thank you.
Well, that was an interesting transition.
Yeah. We have
Hello.
okay.
Hello, folks. Long time no see or talk, or well, both, I guess.
Now it feels like a BM episode now. Hi, and welcome to Becoming Multiplanetary. My name is Rich LB, and with me today we have...
Hello, my name is Kage, and I'm also one of your, former co-hosts. Yeah. So, so I just thought I'd stop in and say hello. I've been a bit of a stranger to the Total Space audience for a while. Long and short of it is, I have a whole lot of things going on in personal life and just needed to spend some time on that and realize that, and folks in the audience, I don't know how strongly I can stress this point. Wow, does being a content creator take a lot of time? Like, when you see an episode or two come out per week, what you don't often see behind the scenes is there are perhaps hundreds of hours spread between multiple people just to do the research, put together a script, have a whole bunch of B-roll ready, do all the edits and cuts and recording and everything else. It takes a lot of time. So really, I'm not wearing a hat currently, but my hat's off to everyone in the space community, Total Space Crew, Angry Astronauts, Felix from What About It, everyone for how much effort goes into this, because wow, it's a lot. So please do support your local space community and throw a like, throw a subscribe, and if you're feeling extra generous, throw some money at Patreons and YouTube memberships. You really deserve
we
it.
have liftoff.
Right, looks like we are in a hold for the Lucy launch.
7,
Yes.
6, 5, 4, 3,
It's
2,
we're lifting off any second.
0.
Do we have
Yep,
audio?
there we go.
Hey, there we go.
Liftoff. 5,
There it goes.
Sending Lucy to uncover the fossils
Go, Lucy.
of our solar system.
Come on.
Arm shake, everybody! Arm shake! Look at that!
Utilization has gone to close control.
God, I wish I was there.
The vehicle has begun to pitch yaw roll.
So beautiful. So beautiful.
For those of
Now,
you just
30
joining,
seconds
this
into
is
flight.
a mission
Vehicle
to
is 0.6 miles in
a
altitude.
few of the asteroids,
Traveling
both
at
in front of
939
and behind
miles per hour.
Jupiter, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Heading out to Jovian L4 and L5. It's going to take a
180
few years to get
continues
there,
to look good at this time.
but that is the destination.
RD 180 engine roaring away.
Beautiful.
Pressures are in
Beautiful.
the
Godspeed. Godspeed.
Go Lucy, yes.
Wow.
Look at that baby, go.
I just want everybody to know that Jared Lemon is standing for this.
Now at T plus 7
I am standing for this too, but that's only because I'm from Paeo right
2
now.
miles down max distance, traveling at 1200 miles per hour. Mach 1, Alice is now supersonic.
Did we just hit maximum atmospheric pressure? Have we hit that yet?
Yes, we just passed max Q.
Yeah, I thought that was the case. I didn't see
Vehicle
it.
is now passing through max Q.
Max
It
Q.
Dynamic pressure.
should be popping up on ours, on our feed any second now. Look at that baby go.
The vehicle is now throttling down slightly.
That baby go.
1 or 2 back, Mr. Producer.
I'm so excited. All of this effort, all of this time invested in this, and to launch this precisely. I hope I don't jinx it here. Let's go, guys.
Approximately 2
I
minutes.
don't know if you can see me with all that video puke. I'm trying to fix it, guys. I'm trying.
And there we go. That engine plume just slowly expanding as it gets really high up in the atmosphere there.
Oh, I love those plumes. One of my favorite things.
2,600 pounds per
It'll
second.
be shortly followed in around about a minute or probably less, and then we just main engine cut off, and then just closely followed by stage separation.
Nice. Looking good.
Five
Man, it's
central
looking
reaction
beautiful.
control system is now pressurizing the flight levels.
Come on.
So beautiful launch sequence there. We do have.
I'm really hoping you guys don't
or
see
so
a
to go with the
live
booster
and
in
in-person
operation.
heart attack here,
Getting,
because I am
Lucy
So now just
nervous
under
as
3
all
minutes
get
into
out.
flight. Atlas is.
We've had your medication, so you're alright.
I think the only launch I'm more nervous for is coming up this December, and that's JWST.
Yes.
So Lucy,
Because we have been waiting so long, so many delays for that thing to go up.
We have a super chat. Sorry to interrupt.
At this time.
Oh!
Right, super chat for
$5.
And Gary's actually over from Angry's channel.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you.
Thank you.
I urge all the viewers to do this if you
The main
can.
engine is
You're
now
the
throttling
best.
to maintain a constant 5G acceleration limit.
There's some fireworks for you, buddy.
We're going
Thank
to see
you
a few things
so
happen pretty
much.
rapidly. The booster will cut off just after 4 minutes,
It-
and then within the next 15 seconds, after that, we
$5
should
may
see
not seem
the
like
Atlas
very
separate
much,
from the
but
Centaur,
I tell
and
you,
then the Centaur entering
every
back towards its first
penny
burn.
makes a
Centaur
huge
has
difference.
begun the boost phase children
So
sequence.
thank you so much, everybody who
And,
is just here watching, regardless of which channel you're watching on.
Boost phase children
Just
sequence has
watching
concluded.
is such a big help to any content creator. Those like buttons, they make a big difference. Any sort of chat interaction in
Stage separation. Sorry to interrupt you. Stage separation. Woo!
So we are watching
Look
these
at
things
that go.
in the animation
Yeah,
happening, but
yeah.
they're happening in real time as
Palpable.
well.
RL10 engine lighting up
For
there.
the first burn.
Yes.
All right, so there we go. We should see the fairing jettison.
Usually
here.
get onboard video, but nothing
There we
on
go.
this one by the
There
looks
goes
of
the
it.
fairings. There goes the fairings. Oh my
All
God,
right, Nick,
this is
so
going
that
well.
wraps up the first round of major milestones here. Still very much in the middle of
Fantastic.
dynamic flight.
So on its way to Jupiter, is it going to be doing any scientific missions other than just instrument checks?
So walk us quickly through, Mick. What are we looking for?
There will
in the
be
next-
instrument
in this
checks
tournament
as
next
it
one?
flies by
one's gonna
Donald
end with,
Johansson
Miko,
in the
getting,
asteroid belt.
Centaur and Lucy
And then
into
once it
its
gets to
park
Jovian
orbit around
L4 and
Earth,
L5,
and then we will then get into
a lot of what
Mars
it's
2,
doing
which
will
get us into
be
that transfer
infrared
orbit, getting
spectrometry
Lucy on its
work
way.
and just
Awesome. So
photo
that's gonna do
work.
it for now. Finishing up
But
the
there's
initial
still
launch
quite
activities.
a bit of
Everything sounding like
information
it's
that we
going
can
perfectly.
learn out of that.
Daryl, back to you.
Thank you, Joshua and Mick. A beautiful launch out here from our
It's
vantage
absolutely
point.
fantastic
Incredible.
launch.
All right.
There we'll probably see
Lucy
it do
was built
a
at the
long
Lockheed
burn to get it up
facility
into
in
orbit.
Colorado before
For
arriving
the
at the
first round of
Canaveral
burns
Space
by the
Force
looks of it.
Station for launch. Engineers at
I
Lockheed's
particularly
Washington
like this
facility
commentary
used
from
lessons
Clark Kent
learned
at
from
NASA.
prior spacecraft like New Horizons and OSIRIS-REx to build Lucy.
And in July, Lucy
And
was
another
packed
super
up
chat
and
from
flown
Phil.
on
Thank
board
you,
a
Phil.
Absolutely. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Another, and again, £8 super chat. Yeah. Hey, look, more fireworks.
Woo!
We got rockets and fireworks, everybody. Rockets and fireworks.
What more do you want?
Arm shake. Yeah, thank you so much, Phil. That means so much to us. You know, every little thing, all of it put together, is what makes it worth doing all the work that Kage was talking about earlier. It really does take a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of dedication to be a content creator and bring all this to you guys. So,
Actually, let's put that into perspective a bit, Astro Roadie. How long were we up until last night producing the countdown video for this stream?
I've had about 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, about the same.
We went live at 2:30 a.m. my time. We've put about 90 man hours into this stream alone before we even went live. So that gives you an idea of the perspective, the amount of time that went into like editing together the B-roll. We made a brand new countdown video for the introduction of the stream. I put together a little video for my backdrop for this. We try to do something special for every stream we do. Like, it really does take a lot of effort. So even just showing up and waving at us in chat or being a viewer, hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, all those things add up to making it worth it. And any content creator will tell you that it really makes a difference just by watching a video. So thank you so much to everybody for being here and participating in this wonderful event and stream with us.
And Phil Rogan with that £8 super chat, a coffee each from Angry's channel. £8, so £1 each for coffee.
And another super chat from Jared.
Well done, guys.
Thank you, Jared.
Thanks, Jared.
Thank
To
you.
all my
Thank you.
viewers over here, please like Total Space, please subscribe and watch their content. They put out quality stuff, so much quality stuff. So please support this channel.
So on that, what's everyone got coming up?
I'm working on a video that I actually wrote a script for quite a long time ago. And I actually made a video using the script. I've just modified it with a little bit of new information and a little bit different format on Lagrange points. I was hoping to have that published last Tuesday, but getting the Lucy video done kind of consumed a little bit more time than I thought it would. So I haven't even had time to turn the camera on and record it. So hopefully sometime in the next few days, we'll have a Lagrange point video on our channel coming out.
Also, on Becoming Multiplanetary, we don't have a date yet. However, they can tell you that the next Becoming Multiplanetary episode will be a live one with a special guest. That's all I can say for now. However, please look forward to it.
And
yes, that will be very exciting. Ryan, you were going to say something.
Yeah, and as always on Wednesday, I'll have the latest roundup of space news and launches and everything else, and I'll keep you up to date with Lucy as it goes, as always, every week. So watch out for that. And some little interviews working in the background, so keep an eye out for those coming soon.
Another super chat coming in from Europe, I believe. Thank you so much.
Yoni? Is it? How would you say that, Miko? Yoni?
Yoni.
Yoni.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Finnish name.
Good job. Good job putting this together. Thank you so much for the... I don't know what that symbol is, but thank you so much for the $5. That is
Euros.
such... That's wonderful.
What have you got coming up, Angry? Anything?
Yeah, I'm keeping my fingers crossed in terms of there was a recent presentation at Mars Society about Mars Direct 3.0. My intention is to try to put together some more work. I don't know what it's going to be concerning, but I will be speaking to the creator of that plan over the weekend. So I'm looking forward to that.
Actually, I have something real quick. Because Yoni gave us a €5 super chat, Miko, would you like to take this opportunity to thank them in Finnish?
Kiitos, Jouni.
So far, the burn seems to be going fine.
Yeah. But on the questions, Sean, why no Centaur footage? Just the ground stations and everything. Not a clear line of communication, but just happens sometimes. We don't always get that footage. We just get the little fancy animation. But still good to get that.
One thing also to remember is that when it comes to the information that they're downlinking from the launch itself, from the rockets and the stages, that the video itself actually to the engineers on the ground is not so very important. They get so much more valuable data out of all the sensors. So that's something that they definitely prioritize more the telemetry that they're getting than video feeds that they get, because that's really what's important for them to let them know if everything is nominal and on track. Video is just kind of one of those added bonuses, especially for the audience.
Yeah. And have you got anything coming up, Miko, in the next week or so?
I have not yet started scripting, but there's quite a few options I could go with. For example, Psyche Mission is a script I should start writing. It should be coming up next month, I think. But yeah, I I released an episode this week about the Lucy mission with Joey, with Astro Roadie. And then I also did asteroid types video. And before that, there was a Starlink update video. So remember to check those out.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic videos. So make sure you go and check those out, guys.
Yeah, we put together. We have a lot of different kind of content that we put out here on Total Space. We do shorts, we do little medium 2 or 3 minute type videos. We have some things that are a little bit more involved, under 10-minute videos. Then we get into like our deep dives, which are usually right around the 20-minute mark, maybe 15-20-minute mark. When we get into our becoming multiplanetaries that can be up to 45 minutes. I think our last BM we actually split it in half because it was a little bit on the longer side. And then like Ryan was saying a few minutes ago, we do have a news show here that comes out once a week where we bring you the latest updates in space, what's going on, what missions are coming up, what's launching in the next week, what happened last week, a little bit about Starbase and SpaceX, a little bit about like Skyrora and Astroscale. We also do a lot of interviews and things here on the channel. We have some great interviews in our backlog with Rocket Lab. We had Richard French we interviewed from Rocket Lab. We have some stuff on James Webb Telescope. We had Dr. Jonathan Gardner that we interviewed. So many just we've got hundreds of videos on our channel, and we're not a very old channel, so we bring a lot to you. And if there's something you would like us to do a video on, feel free to let us know in the chat or in the comments. We'd be happy to bring you a video on a topic that you're interested in that maybe we haven't covered yet.
And this year is actually our one year birthday, and we got another super chat there, £10.
Oh, thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Shuffleboil. I think that's what that is. Thank you so much. Another tenor.
Any questions, Shuffleboil?
It says great work, guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate hearing that, and thank you so much for the super chat. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And fireworks all around. Go ahead, Ryan.
Just a note that this month is actually 1 year of us being pretty much active as a channel together within reason. I know some of us came in a little bit later on, but 1 year, just absolutely incredible what we've done and achieved, and within the space of 1 year, and where we'll be next and within the next year, who knows.
I just can't believe it's been a year already. Genuinely, it doesn't feel like it's been a year.
Absolutely, yeah. I remember seeing, what was it, a week or so ago, was when the team originally formed. We had our 1 year anniversary a week or two ago, and I haven't been on the team quite that long, but it's just been such a fantastic adventure and journey over here. And Angry, you've been doing content for a little over 2 years,
and as of December, I'll hit the second anniversary for my channel.
So almost 2 years. So yeah, not too much longer than us. So it's just fantastic that we've got two channels here that pump out so much content for everybody. Just fantastic.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It was actually a snood I got from Stonehenge.
So I've just seen Stinger in chat saying 1 amazing year, guys. Yes, it has been, Stinger. We love you. We love you very much. We miss you, and we really enjoyed having you on the last stream with us.
Can I just say how much I love the animation behind Miko right now, and how it looks like it's giving him Mickey Mouse ears every once in a while?
Hey, I've got that same animation behind me, buddy.
Well, you're positioned slightly off center, so it doesn't quite have the same effect.
Yeah, thanks, Astro Roadie.
Miko just gets that halo effect occasionally, and there's the Mickey Mouse ears. There we go.
All hail Miko.
right as we're all paying attention, there comes the video puke. That's fantastic. Fantastic.
Nice.
This has been such a great, fun time streaming with all of you out there in the audience, and you know, I think this is the biggest stream we've had in quite some time. The return of Kage for a minute, coming in for a visit. Rich LB doing narration. We've got 4 guests on screen. Also a collaboration. Thank you again, Angry, for joining us and doing this collaboration with us. I hope it's something that your audience enjoys as much as our audience does. Thank you, everybody, for participating in this, whether in front of the camera or behind the scenes or in front of the screen. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for this wonderful launch mission. Would anybody else like to say something?
Yeah, just wanted to.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say thank you all for letting me pop in real quick. I actually have to run to take my dog to a vet appointment, but yeah. So,
yes,
yeah,
thank you for stopping by.
I'll catch you later.
Thanks for dropping in, Kage.
Yeah. See you folks around.
Take care, buddy.
Take care.
Yeah, I mean, once again, to emphasize, this is not over yet. Obviously, we still have further burns to take place here and such to make certain that everything is on course. But all of this is incredibly. I mean, it gives me a lot of hope. That's for sure. I feel very confident about this mission at this point. How does everybody else feel, given that we're at this stage? We've got stage separation. We got the fairings taken care of. We've got Miko, etc. How's everybody feeling about this?
Good. Yeah, main engine cut off is all done. I think Lucy's just in a coast phase now with that RL10 engine, so just waiting on the second burn, but that'll be quite a bit later on, I think. But we're just hanging around for any more questions you guys have got. Just hitting on below at the Total Space Network channel over here. So if anyone on the Angry Astronauts channel wants to ask any last minute questions, feel free to nip over and drop them in there. And as always, like and subscribe right here on Total Space.
Yeah. So our tool that brings chat up in front of us is having a hiccup at the moment. Sods of Beach's metal detecting. Did NASA not have cams on the vehicle? So there may have been cams on the vehicle, just atmospheric conditions, too much competing telemetry would prevent that from coming through. Maybe the camera just couldn't see anything, so they didn't put it on screen for us. There are so many factors that could be involved with why that wasn't shared, or maybe there wasn't a camera there. We don't know. Typically, ULA is pretty good at putting a camera on there, so we may just get a video released from them later after the fact. It's hard to say. So many different things can be going on there as to why we don't see that. We do get a little bit spoiled by like SpaceX launches. SpaceX has worked really hard to bring those views to us, and it kind of spoils us a little bit when we don't see it.
Yeah.
But there's so many factors that could be involved as to why we're not seeing that, and unfortunately they don't tell us why we're seeing something or not seeing something, so really all we can do is just give it a good guess. Ryan, do you want to take the next one?
Yeah, we've got Phil Rogan firing another question over. The launch went okay, but Lucy could still head off to Neptune to follow Starman.
Yeah.
I think it'll be on track, I think, but God knows what. Do we have an update on where Starman is, actually? Somewhere.
I will attempt to find that out for you right now. Give me a minute.
I believe it's the Starman is just cycling between Earth and Mars orbits, but it was off trajectory, so it didn't quite interact with Mars. But I believe it's just it's on a cycler orbit of sorts. We have someone in the back channel checking on things for that, and we'll get an update for you in a minute.
Answer for you. Your answer is currently it is sat just outside of Mars's orbit. It's crossed Mars's orbit outside it, and it's currently on its way back in through Mars's orbit, and then we'll meet up with Earth's orbit after that. So, roughly in terms of miles, it's about 171,690,573 miles and counting, or if you work in kilometers, it's 276,309,398 kilometers. Or, to make it really simple, it's just 1.847 AU.
That was a mouthful. Thank you, Mr. Narrator Rich LB. that was quite a mouthful.
It'd be nice to see what kind of shape that Roadster is in after all this radiation bombardment. I would say it's probably not in the greatest shape right now.
Hopefully still under warranty.
You know, as much as it's not in a great shape, it's currently getting 14,695 miles to the gallon, so you can't complain about the fuel economy.
But it's a Tesla. It doesn't. It doesn't. Well, I guess you've got to factor in the Falcon Heavy propellant cost, I guess.
Yeah.
But still, it's a very long journey and no fill ups. I see that on the Discord.
The Junie, the paint job on that Roadster might not be in the best shape anymore. After all that radiation.
Yeah, a little bit of radiation might give it a little bit of a special effect on the flecking paint.
And Sean, AUs make a lot more sense. And J-Rock Geo, thanks for subscribing.
Yes, thank you so much. So Alan says, how can they know precisely where a spacecraft is during its mission? Since the launch of the Voyager spacecraft, we have developed a little bit better radio telemetry and high gain antennas and things. So that the high gain antenna on Lucy is was it 6.5 feet across? So it's quite large as far as an antenna goes, and it's able to communicate back with us at its furthest point. I believe it's a 45-minute delay with communication with us. So like we've got a lot of different sensors and antennas out there orbiting the Earth that help us triangulate those positions and things. So we're actually able to pretty precisely tell where a lot of things out there are, especially if it's able to send us a signal like Lucy is. So we can tell where it is based on that signal and triangulation. I hope that answers your question.
ULA just posted an update. Now halfway through this course period, Centaur systems remain in Earth orbit. The vehicle continues in this course, headed to precise point in space where the second engine firing is planned. So
Wonderful.
Everything on track.
Yeah, and also, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but generally once you get to this point, there can be, corrections, compensations that can be made with, additional burns, that sort of thing, in case there's any, if the spacecraft is slightly off course, off trajectory, etc., to correct these things. I mean, we're past a lot of the tough part, the extremely tough parts, obviously if the rocket experiences a problem during its initial ascent, it's game over. Whereas, when we're in this point, there can be corrective maneuvers that can be made, depending on the severity of the situation. So I'm feeling very good about the state of Lucy right now. What about the rest of you?
Well, he probably has a 100% score, Jude. I would guess. So I'm going to say yes. Starman is probably a beta tester for full self-driving. That is a fantastic question, and good to see you, Jude, back over here. We've seen you quite a few times on our streams, so so great to see you. I was going to say something, but I lost it, so go ahead, Miko.
Yeah, and to answer your question, when's the first gravity assist? So next year, Lucy will get a boost from Earth, and another one 2 years after.
A little while to wait.
Yeah, a little while. Back to what Angry was saying a minute ago. Lucy has a lot of fuel and propellant on it in order to make corrections and things. Also, the second stage has some fuel. It's going to do one more burn, and then we'll have separation from that. And there's plenty of fuel on board for corrections and things. And every point along the way in Lucy's orbit, it's going to make adjustments and corrections to its orbital flight path in order to make sure that it hits the targets that it's aiming at and hits the Earth in the right way to slingshot around for the next pass. So as long as there's still fuel left, there's a lot of science that Lucy will be able to do. And as soon as we have separation from the booster, it's going to be thumbs up for the whole thing, as far as I'm concerned. And things can go wrong, but we've seen a lot of great success stories coming out of NASA. The spacecraft was built by Lockheed Martin, who also has a pretty good track record of success and things. So I hope that kind of clarifies any questions out there.
I know Boeing get a lot of stick, but it's actually Boeing and Lockheed Martin that are like a joint venture for ULA. So although Boeing gets a lot of stick for Starliner and everything else, they are partially involved with the Atlas V, believe it or not. So there you go.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say the only reason they're doing a good job is because Lockheed Martin is looking over their shoulders, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that.
You build it. We'll program it properly.
I've actually met some of the electronics engineers over at Lockheed Martin, and they're really, really quite intelligent guys that I met working on a project. Number of years ago, we were working on something. I can't talk a lot about it because it's an ITAR project, but was really fantastic talking to those guys. They were real fun and really quite intelligent. A lot of changes had to happen on the fly and things. And it was just fantastic working with them on that electronics project. So it was quite interesting. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to cut in here real quick with some relevant information. So for all of you out there who actually are trying to follow Boeing Starliner, for those interested and for anybody that is working in media, NASA and Boeing will be holding a joint teleconference at 2:30 p.m. at Eastern Daylight Time on Tuesday, October 19th. And during this teleconference, it will be attended by Steve Stitch from NASA's commercial crew, as well as a few people from Boeing's commercial crew program. and they're going to be talking about what happened during the CST-100 failed test, specifically on the oxidizer isolation valve issue that was discovered ahead of the planned uncrewed test. So anybody who's interested in listening into that, that is at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Tuesday, October 19th at nasa.gov/live.
Yeah.
And for those of you hoping to hear them say you're fired, that's probably not going to happen. So.
But on that one, it was a load of valves that are essentially jammed shut because of all the propellants and some sort of moisture that somehow got in the lines and stuff like that. Apparently they know what went wrong, but they've had to take the craft off Atlas V, take it apart and unjam I think it's 13 or 14 valves literally by hand because it's just jammed shut. So it would have been an absolute catastrophic failure if it reached orbit. Essentially the propellant lines were all jammed shut and nothing would have fired up. So that would have been fun.
Yeah, I can tell you, I worked at an amusement park ride factory for a few years, and we did a lot of different kinds of like hydraulic valves and pneumatic valves. And when those things get stuck and they've got pressure on them, it can be quite difficult to get them unstuck. So when you shift into cryogenic propellants and things, when you get a little bit of corrosion in those valves or anything, when those things are stuck and cold, it can be really quite a chore to get things unstuck like that. So it is kind of a big deal to work all that out and prevent that from happening is a major task. Not trying to defend anybody here. They should have had this figured out quite a few years ago. So I personally am a little bit disappointed that they were not a little more proactive on this. Given that my taxpayer dollars are going towards it, I am confident they will figure it out, but I am disappointed that they haven't done so already. So it really is quite a complicated task to deal with all those valves. Nico, we haven't heard.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Angry.
All due respect, Astro Roadie, given how close we've come to catastrophic failure with this vehicle on multiple occasions now, I am in no way comfortable in putting human beings in this thing anymore. We've come within a hair's breadth of losing this vehicle on a number of occasions at this point. And if we had human beings on board, I do think that Boeing would be close to being out of a job. So yeah, I'd find it extremely unacceptable.
And at least to me, it seems like NASA's decision to move the couple of astronauts to SpaceX vehicle tells all about it.
Absolutely, and I agree with you, Angry. I'm very grateful we have not done any sort of manned flight with Starliner, and I am right behind you on being uncomfortable with that, which is why we do these tests, which is why we're redoing the flight test. But yeah, I really hope they get it straightened out. We do need a second launch vehicle, so hopefully they get it all figured out and we can get the tests done and start to feel a little bit more comfortable about maybe someday putting people on that. But I'm with you. I also am not very comfortable with it at this point right now. So I would totally agree.
I can take that one. Phil in chat. Yeah, Phil asks in chat. So if Lucy is a success, when do you think we can send the same kind of spaceship to Alpha Centauri? As for the same kind of spaceship, probably not for a while yet. However, I'm not sure if you're aware of a project called Starshot. Project Starshot. This is a project which aims to have lots of nanospacecraft fired through to Alpha Centauri using a laser, effectively. So you have a sort of a little nano satellite that weighs maybe less than a gram, and then it has a solar sail, and then that solar sail unfurls when it's in space. They are launched loads at a time in a giant swarm, and then a giant laser is pointed towards these solar sails, and they get accelerated out of the solar system, and they will be aimed towards, I believe, Alpha Centauri. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, and if you want a little bit more information about that, we have a couple of videos with Dr. Ryan McDonald, Martian colonist. One is titled WD1856b, and the other one is titled Hot Jupiter. So you're welcome to check those out on our channel, and that'll give you a little bit more information, not only about Starshot, but some of the other upcoming intrasolar missions coming up, and some telescopes information, JWST. We really go over quite a bit of various information in that two-part becoming multiplanetary episode. So quite some in-depth information out there right here on our channel. So feel free to check that out.
One more thing. One of the greatest minds behind this concept is Dr. Avi Loeb, former chair of astrophysics at Harvard University, who also believes that Oumuamua was an interstellar probe utilizing this kind of technology. So one of the greatest minds behind this idea also believes that we have been visited by a probe similar to this. So very, very fascinating stuff, to say the least.
Absolutely. Jude chiming in, Boeing has really hurt innovation. It has made the regulatory agencies gun shy. Starliner and the 737. I agree. You know, we've got a lot of the old guard trying to hold on to their shorts right now. Because SpaceX has really disrupted things. Rocket Lab is disrupting things. A lot of the newer companies are disrupting. We've got Firefly and Astra knocking some things over. Relativity Space is getting ready to shuffle things up a little bit. And the old guard can't keep up. They're too busy lobbying and playing political games and things like that to really pay attention what's going on around them. And you see the same thing in the automobile industry, where things have been really disrupted by companies like Tesla, and the old guard, old automobile manufacturers are scrambling to try to keep up or even figure out WTF is going on right in front of their faces. You know, I'm really glad that we're seeing all this disruption in these industries because it's going to save the taxpayers money. We will get more bang for our buck on future science missions and things. It really is fantastic that we're seeing all these things happen, and the old guard can maybe find a 2x4 big enough to pull their head out of wherever it is, and start being a little bit above the table as far as the dealings and things that they're making. Maybe change some of their practices and behaviors, and we can start seeing some real progress in the space industry and other industries around the globe, and we can start behaving like adults around here instead of kindergartners stealing each other's toys and throwing salt at each other and things. So
and main engine start 2 has actually happened.
Yes, yeah, we have second burn on this.
Second burn.
This is about a 6-minute burn, so it will burn about 4 minutes still.
Thank you.
Going smoothly.
But yeah, another message from Alan Anderters. How can they get signal back from such a small spacecraft with the vicinity of Alpha Centauri? Quite an interesting question, but they have deep space listening, just receiving satellites and everything, ground stations all over the world. So they listen out for the faintest signals. Even the Voyager 1 and 2, they're still picking signals up from those that are God knows how far away now. But all the satellites they're still receiving to ground stations around the world, back to NASA and various other stations all collaborate together to upload information and also receive that information from wherever they may be in our solar system, really.
To go a bit more in depth on that answer, Alan, you're asking how can they get a signal back from such a small spacecraft. The idea is that they're going to be using a tight beam laser transmitter, okay, and that is going to transmit to a phased array, 100-watt optical phased array on Earth. So effectively, it's just a giant grid of telescopes that's going to be listening out for this laser tight beam. Whilst we don't know exactly how long that is going to take for the signal to get back, I would assume it would be something akin to... Well, I would think it would be, with a tight beam laser, it would be at the speed of light. So probably be a year to receive a signal back from that system?
Over 4 years.
4 years, sorry.
Yeah, it's quite a ways out there. But the signals can travel really far. It's just more a matter of the delay in the information getting back to us. We won't be able to steer them very much because we won't be able to hit one side of the solar sail or another, and if we did, it would spin the whole thing and we would lose any control at all. So really, once it's on trajectory, it just goes. As far as communication, those signals travel pretty much forever. It's just the further they go, the fainter the signal gets. But we are able to pick up some pretty faint signals with current technology. And I mean, even 50, 60 years ago, that technology, we're still able to pick that up. So not too terribly concerning. And Starshot is a future mission. So we're going to have even more advanced technology on that. So I hope that answers your question a little bit.
And Joni says it's nice to watch that apogee rising to open orbit. Yeah, it's getting fast, and yep, there it went.
Very smooth.
I like that comment, J. Roccio.
To put some numbers to this, as of October 11th, Voyager was 154.7 astronomical units, 23.143 billion kilometers, 14.380 billion miles. By way of comparison, Pluto is less than 4 billion miles away from the sun. So this is a Voyager's way out there, and yet we can still hear it.
Phil, I can take that question. So it's a question about, will Lucy be able to get shots of Jupiter or Juno? And the answer is no. I was listening to a press update yesterday, and yeah, I think Lucy is closest to Jupiter when it's on near Earth, because those Trojans are so far away. And yeah, we have main engine cutoff too.
Yeah,
just over 10 minutes to spacecraft. Sorry to cut in. So just over 10 minutes to spacecraft separation. We're very, very close to the key moment here to determine whether or not this is going to be a success, at least in the early stages.
Yeah. To expand on what Miko was saying, the Trojan swarms are the same distance from Jupiter as Jupiter is from the sun. They form an double equilateral triangle. So they are very far away, and yeah, the closest Lucy will ever be to Jupiter is was it next year's slingshot? I think is when it's the closest to Jupiter.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was liftoff or the second slingshot, or sorry, the first slingshot. So yeah, that's the closest Lucy will ever get to Jupiter itself, but it will get right up in the face of both of the L4 and the L5 Trojan swarms. So we have some waving from Ryan.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Speaking of which, I think I need to get up and stretch my legs for a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and hide my face for a moment. And I will be back in a few minutes.
But absolutely incredible launch today. Thank you so much for everyone joining us. As always, leave your questions below. It doesn't necessarily have to be about Lucy. We can open up the floor to other topics while this launch is going on. And then, how are things with Astro Angry?
I continue to be in a state of awe. Really, I am. I mean, this mission was planned so long ago. The launch date was established for October 16th, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. I really expected, to be honest, that ULA would have a scrub, and maybe a couple of days later, since they had a 21-day launch window, go for it then, just to make absolutely sure they had all their ducks in a row. But instead, they moved this rocket out to the pad just a few days ago and just went like this was any other launch, just like this was some sort of satellite launch to geostationary orbit or anything else. It's just another walk in the park for these guys. I'm impressed. I am seriously impressed with these guys. So, and they're part of the old guard.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. I think the goal for launch was 90%, so I think there's a reasonably good chance it was going to go anyway and everything. But incredible to see this rocket launch again. But like you say, we'll see in the next 5 to 10 years, we'll see less and less of these kind of rockets, albeit we've got SLS in the background and everything. How things will play out with that, I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can actually tie this launch to the Boeing Starliner, because I think ULA took the booster of the Starliner uncrewed mission test for this one. And Jude is saying that Scott Manley has a good video of Lagrange points, and I can actually tell you that Astro Roadie will be filming his Lagrange point video soon, so be sure to tune in to see that.
Of course, tomorrow I intend to have a live stream, although the topic, I'm keeping that to myself at the moment until I'm absolutely certain as to what sort of content I can have available. But nevertheless, yes, I will be live streaming tomorrow. This is just an estimate at this point, but I'm looking at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. That should be 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 7 p.m. in the UK, etc. But that's what we'll be looking at tomorrow.
I'll be sure to tune into that one.
But thanks, guys. I really appreciate being here. This is such a phenomenal thing that you guys have accomplished. This from a visual standpoint, and the coordination required to make people, to bring people all over the planet together for this momentous time for NASA. Wow. And for the human species. I mean, this is going to bring so much future benefit to us, both scientifically and even from practical standpoints, from the average guy on the street. There's a lot of benefit that can be gained from this mission.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sean, yeah, Ryan did have some audio issues. Would you do a check now? There was some clicking in the background. And the Lucy spacecraft separation should be happening in about 5 minutes.
Still tense. This is a moment. This is a key moment as well. Obviously, everything has to perform flawlessly. So I'm feeling very confident, though.
Angry, did you watch the Chinese launch some astronauts yesterday?
I did not. I haven't caught up with that one yet. Anybody who watches my channel knows that sometimes I tend to be very critical of that space program, but at the same time, this is a remarkable accomplishment for them. For those of you who watched my video about how Roscosmos is underusing their female talent in their country, this is the third female taikonaut that is going to low Earth orbit. The Russians have sent 4 women in the entire history of their space program. And the Chinese have already sent a third. I don't think this is for any propaganda reasons. I think they're just simply being more egalitarian than Roscosmos. How is that possible? How does that happen? But that is what's happening, and I'm impressed with that, definitely.
Yeah, me too. And I do think this Chinese woman has been once to space before.
Yeah, I definitely need to do more research on that one. I definitely intended to do some more information on that. So, and perhaps try to be a little less critical this time.
Yeah, and they actually live streamed the launch this time, so that was a good decision from them.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Welcome back, Astro Roadie.
Hi, everybody. Maybe he. Oh, there goes my camera battery. We'll fix that real quick here.
I'm not sure when the solar array deploy is, but the Lucy separation is in 2.5 minutes. I'm not sure if we will get a view or telemetry in this stream about the solar array deploy.
Yeah, it may come after the fact.
Yeah. And there was, I think it was yesterday, there was some Russian engine problems on the ISS. The MS-18 spacecraft couldn't stop firing its engines until it ran out of fuel.
Yeah, the Russians seem to be taking the ISS for a couple of waltzes lately. You know, doing a little bit of dance and a little bit of jig and things. Hopefully, whatever's causing all that gets figured out and sorted really, really quickly before we have any real problems. Most of it's just orientation issues, but that requires the use of the onboard supplies to correct things and get everything pointed back in the right direction so that solar panels are pointed at the sun and things. So hopefully they get that sorted.
Yeah, hopefully. It would be best for everyone.
Absolutely.
1 minute or so. 1 minute mark.
Yeah, maybe we should actually listen to the stream for the separation of Lucy.
I'm for that.
Excuse me.
30 seconds.
Yes, there it goes.
Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Well done, guys. Well done.
Good job. Good job. Congratulations, ULA. At this point, ULA has finished everything that they're going to be doing for the mission, and now it gets handed off to the control team at Southwest Research Institute, and they will control for solar array deployment and things. And off Lucy goes into the sky with diamonds. So fantastic.
God, I'm thrilled. This is quite an amazing thing. And, as much as we want to talk about reusability, and certainly that's where I want everything to go, this was the right rocket for this job today. It just was. And that is self-evident. It's quite an accomplishment from ULA, NASA, and everyone else involved. I am beyond impressed.
Absolutely. As I was taking my little stretch there, I was thinking about it. And, here at Total Space, we're a little bit more focused on the science and things, whereas Angry is a little bit more political about things. And it's absolutely critical that we have channels that bring both of these types of information out to the viewers and out to Team Space and things and share all that. It's very important that we look at the whole picture, not just the science, not just the politics, but these companies absolutely need to be congratulated for their science, and at the same time, they need to be called out for throwing salt around or the lobbying and things that go on and the political aspects of things. So I'm really grateful that folks like you, Angry, are putting out content that sorry, I got sidelined there. Yeah, it's really important that these companies get called out for what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. And so I'm really glad that creators like yourself, Angry, are out there calling these companies to the floor for the baloney that they're pulling. Here on Total Space, we're a little bit more Team Space oriented and are more focused on the science. And it's really important that information gets out as well. So we need a good, healthy mix out there in the content creator world, bringing this information to our audiences about all the things that are going on. It's about the whole picture, and everybody has their own little focus and things. It's been so great having you as a special guest here on our stream and dual streaming this. This has been very fun for I hope everybody out there in the audience as well. It's been very fun for everyone here at Total Space. Hopefully next time we do something like this, we can get the audio just a little bit better for you guys. Again, we did not have time to test everything as much as we would have liked to. So hopefully it wasn't terabad. But thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I'm Astro Roadie. You can see on the screen our Twitter tags for everybody. Give us a follow. We bring you all sorts of updates to information on things that are going on out there. Feel free to subscribe, click like buttons on both channels and things. Anything you would like to do to support just viewing is a huge help and whatnot. Angry, do you want to chat for a few minutes?
Oh, as always, stay angry about space, guys. We have to hold these companies definitely to account for what they're doing. I come under criticism for supporting ULA, but the fact of the matter is this is a company that's embracing reusability. They're embracing innovation. They're not counting on their long-term relationships with NASA and the military to secure them contracts. Instead, they are going forward with innovation as SpaceX does because they recognize that that's what's necessary in order to be competitive in this environment, and I applaud that, as I applaud any organization that embraces reusability, embraces innovation. So this was an expendable rocket, but it's a solid rocket, and it just demonstrated that today, again, maintaining its flawless record. So stay angry about space, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stay angry about space.
Absolutely.
Looks like Ryan from the Space Update is having some connectivity issues, so we have dropped him off. I think we're going to bring Rich back in on that spot if we can, and fill that space while we get ready to close things out. Looks like we got another super chat from Sean there. I don't know if that happened while I was away. But
we got the super chat just like a minute ago. So
okay,
thank
you
very
so
much,
much, Sean.
Shoot you a message when I'm done.
You
guys
we're
have
getting
fun.
ready to.
Enjoy your Timmy's. Super jealous.
We're getting ready to close things up, I think, here, or how much longer do we want to keep going, guys? Okay. I'm Astro Roadie. I'm one of the stream hosts over here at Total Space. I'm so glad all of you were able to join us. We're going to be closing things out here. Again, Ryan has had some connectivity issues, so he has dropped off.
I'm here in voice if you can hear me.
He's here in voice, but had some camera issues. So Ryan, do you want to say some goodbyes as we get ready to close out?
Yeah, just absolutely amazing. Thank you everyone for joining us today. A few issues on my part with the mic and camera dropping out, but it's been absolutely amazing seeing the launch, and thank you so much for everyone for the donations, everyone watching along. We're going to be trying to bring you a lot more of these live streams very, very soon. So thank you everyone, and I've been Ryan from the Space Update.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Miko, do you have any final words for us?
Yeah, Mikko and I do the deep dive episodes on our channel, and thanks everyone for joining and all the super chats, and most importantly, thanks Angry Astronaut for joining our stream. It's been a fun stream.
I'm honored. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So for anybody who's not aware, we do have an interview from quite early in our channel where Angry joins us and we talk about some things. We'll try to throw a link to that in the description at some point, maybe a link in chat before we close out, but check that out if you would like. We probably will have some more stuff coming between the two channels. It's been so great, so fun having you here, Angry. I hope the audience has enjoyed this. Angry, just love your content. It's great seeing it. Great having somebody that calls these companies out for the baloney that they pull and whatnot. Do you have any other final words for us as we get ready to run our outro?
I have some.
Like and subscribe this channel. Like and subscribe Total Space, guys, and watch their content.
And also, I've been Rich LB from Becoming Multiplanetary. I've been here in the background as Mr. Narrator. Thank you all for coming today and watching this live stream. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you to all of Angry's viewers who'd come over and also liked and subscribed to our channel. We really, really appreciate that. And also, thank you to you, Angry, for coming and doing this collaboration with us today. We really, really appreciate it.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Guys.
Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.